It's been a year, and I haven't been able to move on. I have been denying this for months now, and honestly, I'm embarrassed to talk about this to my friends who have been nothing but terribly helpful and supportive to me through my breakup, which happened about a year ago. I do not want to talk about this to my friends or even my sister, who I am very close to, because I think it will be a disappointment for them, seeing me still hung up on X after all this time. My ex, male, 18, and I, female, 19, were classmates. We dated for a year, last year of high school, after crushing pretty hard on each other for a year. It was perfect. We were best friends. No fights, nothing major ever went wrong with us. My first love. We were both each other's firsts. It all changed when his family found out, just a month after we went official. Now, keep in mind that he comes from a very conservative and strict family, and they only wanted him to focus on his studies. That's where it all went wrong. It also led to my family finding out, but they were rather chill about it, comparatively. Though it took a toll on both our mental healths, we couldn't stay away from each other. For some reason, it was just impossible. We couldn't break up, even if his parents tried to brainwash him into thinking that being in a relationship would ruin his life. We never gave up on each other. Together, we've made some of the best memories of our lives. But we've also been through the worst. Extreme pressure from his family, constant belittlement, and even verbal abuse. And all of this put me under extreme guilt. However, it all passed, and it wouldn't have if we didn't have each other. Till one day, when I guess he couldn't take it anymore, and he decided that he would succumb to his parents' wishes over me. I understood where he came from, especially because this happened right before our finals. However, what I was not ready to accept was the way he decided to end it. He just quit talking me. No explanation. He refused to even look at me at school. Mind this, we were perfectly fine the day before his behaviors switched. This took a big toll on me, but I pushed it all aside to focus on my exams. A part of me was so sure that it would all go back to normal once the exam is over. It didn't. He never came back. He was never the same. I won't go into the more personal aspects of how I dealt with it, but I did try to get him to explain. He refused to do that too. I could sense a feeling of shame from his voice, disappointment in himself maybe, about how he decided to deal with our situation. After we got our results, he scored a little lesser than me, and at this point there was no communication between us, but at least we followed each other's socials. After the day of the result, he unfollowed me and removed me from his socials. For me, this was a repeated cycle of abandonment from a person I loved, from my best friend. I couldn't take it, but I held on to my self-respect and never contacted him. To this day, he moved countries. I went out on a few dates with a few guys in the last year, but nothing seems to fill that emptiness. I will never contact him myself, but if he ever does, I know I'll cry once more for him. I know this was really long and sounds like I'm yapping and that I'm depressed. I'm not. I'm very happy in life right now. I have great friends, I am hustling for my career, I'm getting success, and I know I will find someone, and I will love again. I guess I really wanted to put it out there, see if I'm the only one.
My ex-GF is begging me to not continue with the complaint, but I will. So I was with M for 3 years, and for me, everything was fine. We were the classic couple always together, doing everything together, going everywhere together, and all this stuff, just like she wants. And for me, it was okay. But everything changed 2 months ago when I discovered that she was cheating on me with one of my friends. After that, I discovered the cheating. I don't made any type of scene. I never screamed, I never cried, or anything of these things that I hate. I just told her that we were over, and we immediately broke up. Of course she tried to change my mind with tears, begged me for forgiveness, tried to hug me, but I always refused, because cheating is the only thing I will never forgive to anyone. She spent 2 months on stalking me on social media, with fake accounts. She tried to contact me with new numbers, and even made all her friends to contact me, but I had always refused to do anything for her. I wasn't even mad. I was just in shock and couldn't believe that she did that to me since I have done everything I could for her. I always made her surprises, expensive and not gifts. We were going to vacations in beautiful places. I was romantic with her, bringing flowers, chocolate, making her special meals. I even took cooking classes for her, so the cheating came out of the blue for me. I love to work out, so my physique isn't a problem, and even sex wasn't a problem, because I heard her many times with her female friends saying how lucky she was to find a guy that can satisfy her. Anyway, 1 month ago, I bought a new car because my old one was having serious problems, and the mechanic, a family friend, told me clearly to get rid of it because the cost of maintenance was too high. So I did. I bought my new car and installed some cameras and a security system inside, because since it's new and is very expensive, I wanted it to be protected. So 3 weeks ago at morning, I found out my brand new car being completely destroyed, broken windows, striped everywhere, and with a note on the front, "Please, I just want to talk with you." I immediately knew that she was the one that made all the disaster, and the cameras recorded that too. The same day, I went to the police with the proofs to sue her, and after a few days I received a message from a new number where she was begging me to withdraw the complaint because she was having a job interview, and if they knew about it, she would have lost the opportunity for the job. I never replied to her messages in this months, and I never will, and of course I'm not withdrawing the complaint. It's been 2 weeks that she is calling me and messaging me to withdraw the complaint, but I will never do it because for me, any action have consequences, and you must think before of the action, about the consequence, and not after begging. It don't work with me. So, at the end, my ex will not have her job, and I will have my car repaired, and for me, everything is fine. Although she is still messaging and calling me, but I will never change my mind.
My ex-BF peed the bed. My ex, 23M, and I, 22F, had been having major relationship issues over the past months, mostly related to his drinking habits. He refused to go and get help and couldn't acknowledge that it was a problem. The last straw for me was waking up in the middle of the night to the bed being wet. I threw the light on and pulled the covers back. I was so shocked and disgusted, and honestly a little traumatized. I yelled at him and left to sleep on the couch. He cleaned it and told me so, but I refused to sleep on a pee bed. We ended up breaking up. I think it was best. I hope he was able to get himself help and start taking care of himself.